Hello, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are, and thanks for joining in for today's session on Digital Product Management Masterclass. Before we start the session, kindly type in the chat where you are joining in from. I'm currently presenting from the UK, Manchester. Welcome to the session. We'll be kickstarting very soon. Let me share my screen. So this session, it's an hour and a half, and it's a masterclass on digital product management. The aim of the session is to highlight all aspects of digital product management. We would start with a brief history of concepts around product management and how it's evolved up to date. As we go through the presentation, feel free to type in the chat if you have any questions. Also, there's the Q&A aspect. You can ask your questions in there. As much as possible, would love the session to be very interactive. If you can hear me loud and clear, can you type in the chat, yes, you can hear me? Can you hear me? Let's get interactive. It's Digital Product Management Masterclass, DPM. And I would love to hear from you also. Great. Okay, I can see lots of people using AI tools to take down notes. And these are all examples of digital products that are fast evolving and changing the way people work and people interact. Okay, so welcome once again to the session. I would start with a brief introduction of myself and my experiences and how I'll bring that to bear on today's session. Okay, so this masterclass is brought to you by Lean Icon Technology and Training. And these are the services we deliver at LIT. It includes software delivery, web and mobile app development to be specific. So if you have any software idea, either as an entrepreneur or a business, and you are looking for the great or you're looking for products that will give your customers great experience, then you could call on Lean Icon Technology, and you have lots of developers, full stack, and in any language we would code and give you a product that would excite your customers. We also deliver trainings for both public and corporate trainings. For public trainings, we're looking at agile software development, digital product management, business analysis, data analysis, just to mention a few. And on our consulting end, we support organizations on their digital transformation by embedding the agile ways of working. So this training is brought to you by LIT, and these are our services. So I'm Daniel Kostner, your facilitator, sharing on today's session, and I'm excited to share my experiences with you on product management. As we go along, if you have any questions, I repeat, if you have any questions, please use the chat, the Q&A, or if you have any comments to share. If I see something that excites you, please also use the chat session to give your comments. Great. So my work experiences include worked as a pharmacist, a project manager within the hospital setting. I've also transitioned into consulting, mainly focused on enterprise agile coaching, coaching on objectives and key results, and also delivery of digital products. And I've delivered products, I've worked with teams that have delivered products in the fintech and health tech space. I also deliver a number of trainings across the UK and also in Ghana. And trainings I deliver include the following. And today's session would be on product management. What is product management? How has it evolved up to today? And I would be sharing my experiences as a product manager working on fintech and health tech products, as an enterprise agile coach, coaching teams that are building digital solutions. Now, I've delivered trainings for about 5,000 people across 20 countries, and these are some organizations I've delivered trainings for. And these are excerpts of pictures I've taken on my various training sessions. And before I go any further, I'd like to wish you all a happy Pink October. Breast cancer is real. I will encourage us all to get our breast checked, whether male or female. It's very important we check for signs of breast cancer. Early detection saves lives, and that's from myself and the team at LIT. With that said and done, we will jump into the topic for today: digital product management. Once again, any questions, just type in the Q&A session and I'll pause and answer. So software delivery it's a huge topic now. A lot of organizations are undergoing digital transformations, and this is not a recent phenomenon. It started with organizations embedding software into their processes to optimize the build of to optimize their processes, increase efficiency so they can deliver better value to their customers. And there are some technical and non-technical software delivery rules. And today's session is on one of the non-technical software delivery rules, that's product manager role. So let's say we'd say there's a product management capability with different rules supporting to deliver that whole capability within an organization. So you have the product manager, the product owner, and other roles supporting to deliver digital products for businesses. And more often than not, you hear people asking, what's the difference between the project manager, the product owner, the are there when do these roles come into play? Do they work together? I would try us at the very early part of this session to highlight on those aspects, how these roles interact. So these are some non-technical software delivery roles, and they all support organizations in either embedding software to improve their processes or building digital solutions. So over the years, in the last 2 centuries, we've experienced very rapid change, and there are 4 clear industrial revolutions that have been identified. There are other schools of thought that say we are in the fifth revolution, fifth industrial revolution. That's the age of AI, and it's just to further highlight how change is happening rapidly around us. And the 4 industrial revolutions have, over the period, impacted how businesses operate. So we'll tell a short story to show some correlation between the industrial revolutions and its impacts on businesses. There, I'll tie in the roles of the project manager, the business analyst, then how the product manager role evolved out of the whole process. We would tell this story with this is a fictional store called, let's say, Evolve Retail Shop. Let's imagine Evolve Retail Shop has lived through the industrial revolutions and was owned by one gentleman. And this Evolve Retail Shop over the period has evolved and expanded and grown bigger. And these expansions have been possible due to the industrial revolutions. Mind you, this expansions is impacting every industry. Or these digital revolutions is impacting every industry, just not only retail, but I'll use retail as the standard because we all would have engaged one retail shop or the other, and we would have seen how all these shops are evolving fast enough to meet their customers' needs. Same um, situation with the banks and other industries. So Evolve Retail Shop, let's say, started in the last century. It's been around. It's a single tabletop shop and owned by one person. Less complex. It's easy to manage. Here, you don't need much technology. Maybe just your calculator. You receive items from customers and you serve them. Then what happens? Over the years, the shop tends to increase in size. So we are adding more, we adding on more shops um, in different locations within the same town, just to ensure that we are bringing the shops closer to our customers. So Evolve Retail Shop keeps evolving. It's brought um, four new locations. In this case, we would say yes, business operations are getting complex, and um, there's increase in the number of staff that will be working here. In this case, if there's an opportunity, they could also leverage on an inventory system, so then the owner can easily track sales across all the four shops. And in this case, the inventory system could be a standalone system for each shop. That's how. And let's say as it's expanding, um, it's evolved retail shop has evolved once again. Now it has thousands of shops across the country, meaning its operations are going to get more complex. There'll be a need for warehouses to help in transporting um, products onto into the various shops. There'll be a need for a whole back office team to look at the nature of the supply chain, engage various retailers, bring in the supplies, and distribute them across all the shops. There would be a need for a huge HR department managing employees across all these shops. Now the shop is growing, it's becoming more complex, and it's at this stage that um, the owners are also looking at how we could leverage uh, the technologies from the digital revolution to improve the efficiency of the shops. So they could put in place a CRM system to manage customer relationships. There would be supply chain management systems at this stage to ensure that they are tracking purchase orders from to various suppliers, and they are paying their invoices on time. Now the shop gets retailing is very complex at this stage as we scale, and that's the same issue that a lot of businesses are experiencing. When operations are getting complex, then there is need for a lot of automation. There's a need for bringing in technology to support the process. And that's what the industrial revolutions have been able to do. They've given us the tools that has helped us to improve our operational efficiencies. Great. So with this, at this phase, when bringing systems, implementing such uh, CRMs, delivering all these projects that would enable the organization to be efficient would require that the business has in place, let's say, a project manager, business analyst that would support and help in understanding the business operations and embedding the software solutions. So it's at this stage that in a lot of organizations evolution as they get bigger, that's where you see roles like business analyst, project manager coming in, and then company sourcing third-party systems and deploying them across the business. So the business analyst role where are leveraging waterfall approaches to delivering of projects, and they would be focused at this aspect of the waterfall steps, the stages. The BA will help in gathering requirements. So first, if the organization wants to now implement, let's say, a supply chain system that would coordinate the bringing in of supplies and the sales, it would be a very complex venture. And here they will need the business analyst to understand the business processes, map out those processes, work with stakeholders, and um, gather those requirements, create the needed design, and then hand over to the project manager. Project manager and the project team will now go through the implementation, verification, and then release of the supply chain management system that would enable the efficient working of evolved retail shop at this stage of its life cycle. So this is the need for businesses to embed technology, software into their processes so then they become more efficient, led to the rise of the role of the business analyst. And their main duty is to help one understand the business processes, help gather requirements, and come up with the right designs, select support in the selecting of the right solution that would be deployed across the organization. And the project manager would be involved in the implementation. So for this process, a waterfall approach seems to work perfectly well to support the business in its transition as it automates and becomes a big conglomerate. And with this softwares in place, implemented across the business by the business analyst, the project manager, the project teams, now the business is able to expand and spread its tentacles across the entire country and even expand into other countries, delivering excellent services to its customers. And the fourth digital revolution brings along with it some complexities. As um, businesses are embedding technology and improving their processes, um, it's also making it much easier for other startups to also rise and leverage on technology and not require all the complex systems of the existing shops or like Evolve retail shop that has evolved over the years to become an Evolve Inc., an incorporated company with a chain of retails across the globe. Now, there are opportunities that would come with the fourth industrial revolution. There is increased efficiency. There are better systems to be deployed to improve the logistics distribution. And there are also threats that would come along with this also. There are startups that would come up and would not require so much of the legacy systems of these traditional businesses to scale. There you hear stories of, let's say, Amazon, Alibaba, not having any shops at all, but are worth more than retail shops that have been around for so many years. So these opportunities and threats are there, and the existing organizations like EV Inc. must take advantage of the opportunities that come, so then they are able to ward away the threats from startups and digital natives that can pick up technology and and build solutions, come up with innovations that would disrupt a whole industry. And there are lots of stories about how startups have disrupted whole industries, from banking to insurance, and it's still going on. Traditional businesses can't sit aloof. They would also have to take advantage of the opportunity and um, uh, build digital solutions that would entice their customers, that would keep their customers coming back, due to the also the fast changing needs of customers. There is a need for these traditional businesses to also adopt practices of the digital natives, so then they are able to meet the fast changing needs of the customers, fast changing regulatory and compliance landscape. Hence, these traditional businesses would have to adapt the agile ways of working, would have to have Scrum and Agile teams that would, or leverage these Agile teams that will build their digital products for them. So they will either bring in the software developers to support in the build, or they would what? Outsource the build of the product to the a third party. Either way, there's a need for that agile approach and a product team that would support in the build. And concepts around agile product ownership, it's a topic for another day. But these are the practices that have enabled the digital natives like the Amazons, the Googles, to scale quickly, build software very fast. In these agile roles, we have what we call the product owner. So I normally refer to the product owner role as a framework role. Why? Because the first mentions of the role of the product owner were from the Scrum teams, and that's how product ownership, product management has grown within the software industry or the software space. And so that's the story of Evolve Retail Shop that started as a small retail shop and has evolved into a whole corporation that would have to leverage the opportunities in the fourth digital revolution to remain um, a major player in the retail industry. Otherwise, they would die off like organizations that we've heard about, like the blockbusters and major organizations that have lost leadership in the commerce of the world due to their inability to evolve quickly and adopt technology. And all this is hinged on agile practices, building product capabilities within businesses. But product management as a, a role or a capability, or the product manager role, has been around for a while now, but it's not been in the digital space. It's come from the in the 1930s. Uh, in the 1930s, Procter and Gamble mentioned the product management role, where the role was in businesses supporting the delivery of various products. So if you go to the banking sectors, you hear the role, the product managers who are creating products, um, banking products for customers. So the term product management is not new, but it's becoming a very interesting role, and it's taking a whole different turn due to uh, the fourth digital revolution, due to um, the need to build digital products for businesses, right? So every traditional product management mainly is the ability to manage these physical products. So we have vehicles, we have hospital equipment. In the banking space, there could be banking products. These are uh, a bit different from the digital products due to the mainly the nature of distribution of these products. And we would see how the nature of distribution impacts these. So um, the product life cycle, when brought into the market, would is expected to take this shape, but not every company would expect that, put in the effort to build the product, introduce it to the market, launch it, put in all the marketing effort for the product to go grow. It hits maturity, and after a while, the product would decline. So we bring a car to market. The product manager works with the team. They design a car. The car is brought to market. It's the marketing effort is done and people adopt the car. And after some number of years, another product, another model of the car is manufactured, and it's improved with different new features, and then it also takes that turn. So you would see the traditional products would keep coming up with different versions. And at a point in time, products built this way would not have the needed support. So when the product declines, the manufacturer would, let's say, stop producing spare parts for the given vehicle, but would focus on the current models. That's how physical products mainly work. But digital products have a different approach when they come into the market. So this is an example of a typical product life cycle for a traditional product that is rolled out into the market. So I'm sure we've all used DVDs, um, or we've had experience with DVDs, but now we barely see DVDs around. Even the cars don't come with DVDs anymore. And you would realize that now there is, when DVDs came, they've gone through the cycle, and now they have been off-boarded. So no one uses or produces DVDs anymore. Even if there are DVDs, then they are in very low quantities due to the shift or the coming in of newer products with better efficiency. So product management is not a new term. It's been there for a while. And as I said, since the 1930s, mainly in designing traditional products. Then what's unique about digital product management? Why the hype? Why all the news, the fancy things we hear? So the ability to manage digital products, or the ability to build and deliver products and services through software, is digital product management. Very simple. And it's because of digital products. That's why this webinar or masterclass is possible. We couldn't have done this masterclass uh, 20, 30 years ago, because then we didn't have such platforms, such digital platforms. This will show you the impact digital product management is having on our lives. What's unique about the process? With digital product management, it doesn't decline automatically, just like the traditional product management. It has the opportunity to what? Extend the product life. So there's product extension, and we would keep adding on to it to ensure that the product remains what? Profitable. So you see a product like LinkedIn started and over the years has evolved into a platform for recruitment. It has also sales people leverage LinkedIn to target businesses. So LinkedIn would keep growing, would keep adding other features, all only because mainly because of the approach to distribution. So cloud technology, mobile technology has changed the game when it comes to product development. Example of digital products that have taken a traditional approach are we have the likes of the Microsoft operating system. So before Microsoft, the operating system or the Microsoft Office went into the cloud, mainly Microsoft operating systems were released every 3 to 5 years. We have Windows 95. Then after some number of years, they release another Windows version. They would support the old Windows version for a while and then they decommission it. But due to the advancement in uh, digital technology, due to technologies like cloud technologies, like mobile technologies, like artificial intelligence, we are able to improve the distribution of digital products. Hence, the nature and life cycle of digital products have evolved. There's an opportunity to extend the life of the product by adding new features, new models, upgrading the old systems and to make it much better. Hence, the thinking and the role of the digital products manager is more of a growth mindset with a huge focus on the customer. So then continuously we are able to extend the product life, improve upon the software and ensure that we deliver value to our customers. Product extensions, like in the case of Uber, where um, looking at how the data from the usage of the Uber app, um, the product managers realized that there was an opportunity to create Uber Eats, and then came up with another product to help in extending the product life of the Uber app. So there are various ways in which the digital product manager would be thinking. One, how do I add new features to extend the life of my product? Two, how do I come up with innovations based on the data that I'm gathering from the interactions of people with my system? Also, digital products are not only software based, we have are not only mobile based. We are now seeing digital products being or software products being embedded into hardware products. So like the Tesla vehicle is a perfect example of a hybrid product. Our iPhones, our phones, there's a lot of hybrid products out there also that are leveraging on software to enhance user experience. So software is everywhere. It's eating up every industry. And those who are able to leverage the power of the product manager to build quality software that would enhance the lives of their customers would survive the digital disruption. Great. Any questions, any additions, any chats, any comments? Are we following the flow of thoughts with respect to how product management has evolved as a role, as a profession, and the prospects and opportunities it presents? If we are good, can I see a yes in the chat? Let me know if there are any PMs in the house. Are you a PM? Are you an aspiring PM? Is the content so far enlightening? If okay, great. Thanks, Isaac. I'm feeling alone now. Can someone say hi? Okay. Aspiring Angel is aspiring PM. Thanks, Tom. Okay. Any aspiring PMs in the house, or we are all or PM in the PM role? Okay. If you're in the PM role, tell me how many years have you been in the PM role? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 years in a PM role. Okay. More aspiring PMs. Great. So product management is or digital product management, to be specific, is fast transforming the way businesses deliver software services to their customers. Every business is now a software business. Even the tabletop business is leveraging software to reach its customers. So software is eating the world, and product managers are at the forefront of supporting businesses deliver these great experiences. So why the increase in the demand for product managers? One, there's expanding digital landscape due to the new technologies we are seeing. So as I said, cloud technology, mobile technology, um, um, all are increasing the need for product managers. Also, the increasing need for digital transformation by businesses. So, a business like Evolve Retail Shop would have to undergo a digital transformation so then it can compete with the likes of Amazon, Alibaba, because if it remains as a brick and mortar, um, after some time, it would have to start closing some of its shops. But if it has the digital platform available, one, it's providing convenience, and two, it's also able to leverage a second channel to distribute its services. Almost every bank has a digital platform. What would differentiate one bank from the other is the user experience. How good is the app? How is it meeting your users' needs? How quickly can you meet your users' demands? How quickly can you produce platforms that will rival those of the startups that are taking away all your customers? So user experience is key, and they need to take data-driven decisions. So product management role is growing quickly. There's going to be a huge demand. In some markets, the demand is already evident, especially those who have undergone a lot of business optimizations and are experiencing a lot of disruptions from startups are quickly um, bringing on the product management capability to support in the build of their own digital products. So then they are able to deliver that value to their customers. So product management role, or digital product management to be precise, is here to stay due to the times we find ourselves in. The non-technical role and provides a lot of opportunities. Um, the role could differ from one organization to the other. So in some organizations, you hear them say program managers. Mainly, they are managing digital products. So there are different instances or each things that could impact the kind of products, the kind of product management one does. So based on, let's say, the maturity of a product. So let's say you are joining a company that has a digital product in place that's thriving, that's doing well. Or so then what you would need to do is support with adding new features, enhancing or taking away features that are not necessary, enhancing the product so then you continue to extend its life within the market. So based on the product maturity, the kind of work the PM will be doing will differ slightly from from an organization where the PM, maybe the product is very new, is being introduced into the market like a startup. What the PM will be doing on such a product will be more of trying to build certain features and help and support in the growth of the product in the market. The delivery culture of the organization. Some organizations are fast shifting to the agile ways of delivery because agile ways of delivery tend to support the build of quality products. So if the delivery culture is not that, it's a waterfall one, then it's going to impact how the product manager would work in the organization. Also, the organizational maturity, as I said earlier, either a startup or an enterprise would impact the product management role. The industry, so product management can be very industry specific. You would need some domain knowledge of the industry in which you would want to perform in as a product manager. So being a product manager in the health space is you will use the same set of skills, but domain knowledge, understanding about the businesses, the processes, the customers, and how maybe the health facilities operate is needed for us to work very well in specific industries. Also, some industries are non-competitive, like NGOs, government. You realize that the focus of the product manager is not to drive revenue, but is to drive usage of the digital platforms that are being built. Also, the product audience. How are you building for customers directly? So, as a business, I'm serving products directly to the customers. That would be more of a B2B, B2C, or I'm building a platform that businesses would leverage on to service their customers. That would be a B2B product. All these would define the complexity within which the product manager will work. But nonetheless, the product manager will be performing these functions to different extents to support the growth of the product through the life cycle. So at every stage within the product life cycle, there are activities that will be performed. And these activities are modeled around the product growth model. And the stages are discovery, where we that will be a lot of the work that will be done at the very early stages when trying to bring a new digital product to the market. We could have then it's if we engage the customers, we come up with the requirements that are needed. We then move into the development phase where we would leverage agile practices like the Scrum methodology. In large enterprises, we'll be leveraging the skilled agile framework, large scale Scrum at scale to build those digital products. And then when the products are built, we need to operate them. We need to ensure that the product is always live, is always up. Imagine building a digital product, selling it live, and your customers come online and they can't access it. That's poor. So we need to ensure there's consistent support for the product, there's consistent support for the customer. When customer brings in complaints, we need to be able to resolve them. We also need to be able to gather analytics about the usage of the product. And then when that is done, we are able to grow the product in the market. At the market phase, we are looking at launch of products into the market. There are a lot of there are techniques by which digital products are launched. So you launch the product to be able, and then you conduct marketing and sales activities to sustain the momentum as we monitor the product's presence in the market. All these will be happening at different extents. So after we've done extensive discovery, we realize that at every point in time, these phases are happening, but will be to different extents. At the very early stages, there will be heavy focus on discovery. But as we roll out the product into the market, discovery doesn't stop, but it's usually will not be as intense as the during the introduction and growth phase. It will not be as intense as pre introduction of product into the market. So these phases are not, it's not phase gated, it's not one stage after the other. Consistently, we are performing activities at all these stages to ensure that our product keeps growing in the market. And then we look for opportunities to extend the product's life after we have launched the product into the market. So this would help us understand the various activities the product manager does to sustain their products within the market. So we'll look briefly at each aspect, and then if any questions are there, kindly put them in the chat. Great. So the product growth model at discovery, what happens? Mainly, if a stakeholder approaches the product manager that, okay, I want to build, okay, let's use the case of EV Inc. At this stage of their growth, they have all these shops, but they are faced with competitors that have digital platforms. What do they want to do? They want to build their own mobile app and provide these services, sell retail items to their customers. They also want to ensure that if customers come to the shop, they can quickly search for item by shop on their mobile phones, and it will show them which item is present and where they can find it within the facility. There's so many ideas that can come up from for a mobile application for a retail facility. So at the discovery phase, the founder or the managers, senior leaders are excited. Look, we have to compete with the Amazons, the Jumias, and so on. We need our own digital platform. What do we do? Do we build internally? Do we outsource to somebody? Whatever the case, we need to conduct some discovery process. We need to conduct some market research and look at what's the size of the market. So we use models for market sizing. So the product manager would size the market and say, okay, looking at the digital landscape or looking at the entire market, this is the share we have. And our share of the market is reducing. But if we bring the digital products in, it's likely we can increase our share of the market. So there'll be market sizing. They'll also do competitor analysis to look what features are in competitors' apps. How are competitors like Jumia and Amazon and Co delivering value to their customer? If they note that, then they will now have an idea how to strategize their product and bring it to market. So in strategizing, we'll be using models like the SWOT analysis to understand the internal environment of the business. What is our strength as a business? What's our weakness? Maybe our strength is that we have the products already. We have a wide range of products and how do we call this? A supply chain system in place. We have that. But what are our weakness? Our weakness is we don't know how to build software. We don't have software developers. So maybe we want to build our own product. So we need to bring in software developers. What are the opportunities that exist? Numerous opportunities. We can leverage on mobile technology, cloud technology. We can leverage on the experiences of other retail shops that have released products. All these exist, so then we can build a great product. So there's a need to understand the strategy of the entire organization. Why does the organization exist? What is and the models such as pestle analysis, Porter's five forces will help us understand the external environment. Then we have the VMOS and resource audit to help us understand the internal environment. Product managers think strategic. Digital products are built to support the delivery of an organization's strategy. So product managers must understand strategy. What's the process through which the organization goes through to create a strategy? Then how can I align my product strategy to the organization's strategy? So we use models like the business model canvas to understand how we would craft how we understand the business and what channels we are going to leverage on to engage with the customer. We use the value proposition maps to understand what the pain points of the customers are and what solutions we can build to curtail or solve those pain points. When this is done and we identify this kind of solution we want to build and who we want to build for, we now use design thinking practices to understand the customer's needs and design the solution to solve the customer's problem. All this is happening under discovery, and there are templates that support the product manager in doing this. So we'll go through the entire discovery process using design thinking steps. We go through the empathize, we define, we ideate, we prototype, and then we test those prototypes. When those prototypes are done and is validated, we are now able to create our requirements, product requirements documents. And what epics are we going to build? What features and what user stories are we going to write to help in building the solution? And we'll create a product roadmap that will align with our product strategy, which would also align with the organizational strategy and roadmap. These product roadmaps are a way by which we communicate with different stakeholders, and the product manager will leverage roadmaps not only in discovery to tell us what features are going to come. They will also leverage roadmaps when creating, let's say, release plans and engaging with different stakeholders. So these are templates that would use within discovery process. Within the development process, now that we know what requirements we are building, what are epics, what are features, what are stories, we would have our backlog in place. We leverage the Scrum framework. So product managers will need to understand how Scrum teams work. In bigger organizations, there's that flexibility where there could be a product owner within the agile teams working with the developers to manage the backlog. But in smaller organizations and startups, sometimes the product manager will double as the product owner. Hence, the need for the product manager to understand how the agile teams work. And based on the Scrum, we are able to manage our backlog, our sprint backlogs with the Kanban boards. Before we even go into sprint backlogs, in managing the backlog of items that will be built, we would need to prioritize which features are we going to build. So we learn prioritization techniques. The product manager must know prioritization techniques like the RICE model, the Moscow analysis, the Kano model, and the value and effort matrix to help in prioritizing epics, features, and stories with the stakeholders. And also the teams will be leveraging the Fibonacci series to estimate the size of their user stories, prioritize them, and then use the Kanban boards to track the movement of these user stories. The product manager need not be technical, but must understand the technical aspects of the build, so then they are not lost when it comes to discussions with the software development team. So practices like DevOps. What is DevOps? Um, and what are the stages? What are the tools that are in there? You don't have to know them all, but having an idea of what DevOps does to the development process and its importance is very critical uh, to the role of the product manager. Where you know that there's a DevOps process in place, then you are confident to tell stakeholders how quickly your products would be released to market. You would also need some understanding of software architecture. And software has moved from a more monolithic architecture to microservices. And this has also been microservices architecture is also possible due to um, the advent of APIs, that's application programming interface. Product managers must understand how APIs work, the types of APIs, how in a monolithic architecture, we leverage APIs to communicate between various microservices in the and the and the database in a monolithic architecture. You need to have this understanding, so then not to be able to do them, but know the things that are happening in the technical space. So product managers who have technical backgrounds have an advantage, but these can be learned. And with constant engagement with the development team, these DevOps practices, APIs, and thoughts would come easy to the product manager. When we conduct our discovery process and we identify the channels via which we'll be engaging with the customer, we would have to determine whether we're going to build a mobile application, a web application, a desktop application. Whatever application we build to engage with the customer, it's good we have an understanding of the various operating systems that exist and the programming languages that would be used. So then, with this knowledge, you are also able to support with the bringing in of talent that are going to help in the build of the solution. Um, Having knowledge of what platforms your customer is using, and if you have more customers using Android phones than iOS phones, do you want to build a cross-platform product, or you want to build a product that is bespoke to either a Windows platform, an Android platform, or an iOS platform? These are all decisions the product manager must take. Hence, having a knowledge on those operating systems and programming languages are important. And this is knowledge that can be learned through constant practice. Here, this slide is to highlight the importance of what agile approaches in delivery. So when building digital products, you would come to realize that product managers leverage agile ways of working. That is how we can build solutions that have less bugs and would meet the user's needs. No product manager wants to manage a solution that has so many bugs that updates are difficult to make, and that is not meeting the customer's need. And agile approaches to delivery, incremental approaches, and constantly engaging the customer, and through continuous documentation practices rather than upfront documentations, is going to help us build these digital products that would entice our customers. So now that we have built the product and we've sent it to market, there's a need to ensure that the product awareness is gained. People know about the product. So there are techniques by which we do go to market plans. So the GTM plans, an example of such framework is the 4Ps framework, where we look at the nature of the product in relation to our competitors. What's our unique selling points? What's the messaging that we are giving the sales and marketing people to tell our customers? And product managers are in the best position to do this because they were involved in the discovery phase. They engage the customer during design processes. They know the exact pain points of the customer. So they are in the best position to tell the marketing and sales team, what do you tell the customer so that they use our product? That's where the product manager comes in. So they will support in product launches, creating go-to-market plans, then coming up with other marketing artifacts, leveraging social media channels to ensure that they are engaging with leads across all platforms, whether social, whether we using email marketing, just name it. Every channel that would enhance the that customers are found on, the product manager must be aware of it and know the tactics and techniques to enhance the use of their products to create the needed awareness. And sales teams, when they go out to sell the products, so mainly you see this in the B2B space where um, you are building for a business and you go there and the business is using their own an existing CRM system, an existing inventory system, an existing HR system. The salespeople must be aware of the competitors that are out there. What what are the competitive advantages they have, and what advantage does their product have over the competitors? If salespeople have this knowledge, they are able to convince more businesses to jump onto their platform. So the product manager will help in creating what we call battle cards that spells out the competitive advantage and the your company's products have over the competitors and why people should jump from their products onto your own. And whilst products are in market, it doesn't stop there. We are providing the support. So when there are challenges with the app, people have to call customer service. So product manager must guide customer service, must train customer service in how the product works, provide all the needed artifacts so then customer service can provide the needed support to the customers. There's a need to gather a lot of insights. So fast rising field is product analytics. So you see a lot of data analysts leveraging their skills to in product analytics. So and we need to one collect the data, process it, store, model, and then it gives us the needed outputs. And we have frameworks like the Heart framework by Google, which shows happiness, engagement, adoption, retention, and tax success. We track metrics along these, or we use the R model, or also known as the Pirate metrics, to track acquisition, activation, retention, referral, and revenue. And the R model, you realize, follows the customer's journey when they are engaging with your product. We want to measure key performance indicators on these various stages so that we know where the customer is falling off, where the customer is having challenges. We look at product analytics gives us an understanding of how customers are moving on our platform, which features are beneficial, which ones are not, and the decisions we take on what to build going forward is now more data driven after we have rolled out our MVP, that's our minimum viable products, into the market. And tools like Google Analytics, Amplitude support in gathering that data. So these are product management tools, the product that is used across the product development cycle on the product growth model. And when we spoke about DevOps, this is where a lot of the DevOps happen, where we are improving the interactions between operations development and operation to allow seamless release of software. So these are tools, and the product manager mustn't know all. You don't have to know all these tools. You just need some of them. You'd have to know how to use them. We have AHA for strategy and roadmaps and documentations. You have the Miro board for brainstorming. You have Figma both for brainstorming and coming up with high and low fidelity prototypes. Balsamic for low fidelity prototypes. Survey Monkeys for our market research and Typeform also. And all these tools, the product manager must know some of them and have them under his belt to be able to support the delivery of the product. We have Jira, Azure DevOps. These are tools the product manager must be very comfortable with using and to support the delivery of the product. Any questions as we read through the responsibilities? So you realize most of the things that we spoke about would define the responsibilities of the product manager, but mainly to highlight that they are the advocate of the customer. They bring the customer into the discussion always. So product manager representing the customer within the business, product owner representing the customer within the development team, ensuring that we are communicating the right requirements to them, overseeing the product life cycle, ensure also that we are delivering on our financial objectives, because we can't keep build and not make money. The business will collapse unless you're an NGO or a government organization. Even there, you want to ensure that there are metrics in tracking the financials, so that there are metrics in tracking the performance of the platform, so that it delivers the intent of the organization's strategy, even if it's an NGO. Right? And your stakeholder management, risk management, very aligned with the project manager role, but these are skills also required by the product manager. So product management role area. So in a smaller organization, I think, let me bring this slide. In a small startup, you could have this as the product team, and you have the product owner and the acting the same as the PM in a startup. But when it gets complex in a large organization, building complex products. So imagine an organization building Zoom or Microsoft Teams, having over 300, 400, 500 developers working on Microsoft Teams, different aspects of it, different models. There you realize the one person can't do all. So you have multiple agile teams, and then each will have their product owner engaging with the product manager. And you could have engaged with teams where I had 500 developers, 20 product owners, product managers, everybody working different aspects of the solution. And that shows you how product management is evolving. And because of the complexity of the role of the product management capability, there are other roles that are coming up in various organizations. So we can go on LinkedIn and type the various roles that I will be showing. You see roles like the product designer. That's the same as UI UX designers. You hear roles like the product owner. That's the framework role. So a lot of frameworks like the Skilled Agile frameworks, Scrum, have the product owner roles. So you need to know a framework. So either Scrum, Safe, DSDM, where again large scale Scrum, Scrum at scale. Yeah. So Scrum at scale. Yeah. Different frameworks would have the product owner role. So depending on what the organization is using, you need to learn how to do the product owner's duties within that framework, and how you are going to engage to ensure that you are building quality products, you are managing the backlog, you are reviewing for stakeholders, and you are taking decisions that would align the product development to the organization's strategy. You hear roles like product analyst. So type product analyst, and you see a lot of product analyst roles coming up. They do data analysis, market research, metrics definition. They collaborate with the various people to ensure that the data they are gathering is shared across board to make decisions in designing, in delivery, and also in marketing of the product. Then we have product marketer roles also increasing, with the product manager in an enterprise focusing more on stakeholder engagement, aligning to the product's vision to the organization's vision and strategy, and monitoring and tracking product vision and strategy. We also and provide leadership to the various teams, and they ensure that the product grows and generates revenue. So this is not standard for every organization, but that is how the product manager role is growing into. So we have, remember, it started as the product owner role in the framework, and then went to the product manager role, and now you see some job roles asking for product analysts, see product designers, some roles asking for product managers that are more technical. So if you are building very technical platforms, like let's say GitHub, you are building a DevOps tool, you need a product manager that is very technical and can engage with the developers, gather requirements from the developers' perspective, and use to build these very technical products. That's why there's also that demand for technical product managers. And recently, AI, how we leveraging on artificial intelligence to enhance the delivery of our digital products. And the product manager has that opportunity to rise and become a CEO in the organization. There's a clear path for the product manager, because now product management is part of strategic thinking. They support organizations in delivering strategy. Hence, they have that opportunity to be amongst leadership and C-suite. So if you pursue a role in product management, you have those opportunity. The current CEO of most of the tech companies, of let's say Google, was a product manager. So that's the prospects that product manager provides. Our next course is on the 1st of November, so I would love to see you join that course. The Digital Product Manager training, 8 weeks. You get a Scrum certification. You'll be able to create your product portfolio. You do product discovery workshop. What's the process in conducting market research, crafting a strategy, and then engaging directly with the customer using design thinking process, human-centered design, or the double diamond approach to come up with the requirements that would be used in populating the backlog. So we'll be leveraging tools like Jira to populate the backlog. You see how requirements move on the Jira board. You would engage with developers and then get access to the videos on Agile and Scrum that you could watch and prepare for your journey into the world of product management. If you want to have more conversations, scan the QR code we have here, send and engage with Lit. Will give you a great experience. Yes, it's the product management course, full course. Every aspect of the product growth model will be treated. So we would have an introduction to product management. We do product research and strategy, product design and experience. So it touches on all the various aspects. And then we'll do the product discovery workshop that would take you through the process of creating research and coming up with a new idea, a prototype, with a backlog to build a solution. Yeah. So become a pro, get globally certified with Lit. Available courses, apart from product management. We do the software development course. We have digital marketing, business analysis, and data analysis. And we are here to support you on your journey to build a digital skill. Um, it's not about having a new profession. Every profession now needs a digital skill to remain relevant. If you are in finance, if you are in marketing, name it, everyone needs a digital skill. So we are not saying pivot into product management. We are not saying pivot, become a software developer. We say get a digital skill and remain relevant to your organization and um, scan the QR code if you have any more questions to ask. We are online. The team will engage you. We will ensure that all your questions are answered promptly. And I'm looking forward to seeing you on the 1st of November on our virtual session as we kick off the session on digital product management. So we are going to build products that would entice our customers, that would continuously grow your career. It's 30 on the dot. Thanks for attending the session.